Welcome back, SethBling here. Last week I showed how I used 3 controllers and 2 multi-taps to permanently install a jailbreak on the Super Mario World cartridge. But, since almost no one has 2 multi-taps, I came up with a way to do it with just a Game Genie and 1 normal controller. In this video I'll explain how to install the jailbreak with your Game Genie. It'll still take about an hour, but it requires absolutely 0 difficult tricks, just some patience and the ability to follow instructions. These instructions are linked in the video description. First, start up your game without any Game Genie codes and delete all 3 save files. Even if it says the files are already empty, still go through the menu and delete them. Next, reset and enter these 5 codes. These codes will write 2 bytes of data into a particular part of the cartridge's save file storage. Press start to continue into the game. At this point, the screen will fade to black and remain that way permanently. Super Mario World has crashed, but it also wrote those 2 bytes of data, so go ahead and reset. Now you'll modify those 3 codes at just a few places. You can press X and Y to move forward and backwards in the code without deleting anything. Press start again, and you've just written 2 more bytes of data into a nearby location on the cartridge. You'll repeat this another 9 times to write a total of 21 bytes into the internal storage of the same cartridge. These 21 bytes are called the bootloader, or bootstrap, and are very similar to the technique that I used with multi-taps to install the jailbreak. Next, you'll reset and delete all of those codes, and enter these 3 codes. These 3 codes accomplish 3 tasks. The first code will call the bootloader every frame of gameplay, which will allow you to write the installer data in bulk into unused RAM space by spin jumping. The second code will make the level timer count up rather than down, so you have as much time as you need to write the installer into unused RAM. And the third code will trigger the installer code upon a game over. Once you've entered these 3 codes, press start and enter the game. This time it doesn't crash. Load up a save file A and enter Yoshi's Island 2. Once you're in this level, you can press L and R to disable sprite spawning so that enemies won't get in your way. At this point, find a nice open area. You'll start spin jumping to enter byte after byte of installer data into unused RAM. The bonus star counter here shows you the part of unused memory you're writing to. Spin jump a bunch of times until this counter reads 13. If you ever make a mistake, you can decrement the index counter by just pressing the X key and redo whatever byte you just wrote. Then, you'll need to start reading bytes off the instruction sheet that is linked to the video description. The first byte is 04, which is the letter O and the number 4. The coin counter displays Mario's X coordinate, so move left or right until the coin counter displays the letter O followed by the number 4, and spin jump. If it was just the number 4 rather than 04, there would be no number or letter before the 4. So that's how you can tell the difference between the numbers 0 through 9 versus 00 through 09. The next byte is B2. Move until the coin counter says B2, then spin jump. You'll need to repeat this a lot of times. If you ever lose track of what value you're supposed to write, just look at the bonus star counter to tell you the right index. Once you hit index 100, the bonus star counter will start over at 0, but you're still writing to index 100 and up. After you hit index 200, the tens digit of the bonus star counter starts to get glitchy, and the graphics get a little bit glitchy. And this is what it looks like for 200, and then 210, 220, 230, 240, and finally 250. After you write index 255, it'll wrap around back to 0. And at this point, you still need to write the values C8 for index 0 and 11 for index 1. Now you're finally done writing the installer. At this point, suicide. Seriously, you need to kill Mario. You can find a pit about halfway through the level to fall into in case none of the sprites are spawning. After you re-enter the level, you can just suicide on a red Koopa over and over. Once you game over, the game will freeze on a black screen. Reset the game and delete all of the Game Genie codes. Now, when you press start and enter the game, save file C will contain the jailbreak. Load it up, and the hex editor will be enabled, and you can load save file A again to play around with the hex editor. Make sure you write 6B to the first byte in page FFFF before pressing select plus R to disable the hex editor. And there you go. You've got the hex editor installed on your cartridge. You can take your time with every step, and there's no difficult execution. If you mess a part up, you can just do it again. Remember that pressing the X key can undo writes while you're doing the spin jump part. Check the video description for a link to the jailbreak manual to figure out how to use it, and how to prevent yourself from accidentally deleting the jailbreak. That's about it. Thanks for watching.